then the resistant training. I've heard that resistant training is very important, much more than the cardio training. So everything you do, I guess it's called resistant training, right?
Yes, and you know, my actually, I'm just gonna, can I jump back on here? So I'm just gonna jump back on to show you real quick if I can find the slide. So if you can all see that, so this is basically my gym.
Okay.
I have some kettlebells, I have a weight vest, and I have my rings. And the thing I love about having this is I mean, the kettlebells are heavy, but I can pretty much, like, I could throw my rings in a backpack and take them with me on a plane or you know, if I'm going on a trip. I can leave my weight vest in the back of the car. It's a really easy way for me to kind of have a mobile gym and get strength training anywhere I am. And doing things like gymnast rings, it's really fun to kind of learn how to do some of these tricks and things. And you do have to build up a certain amount of fitness in order to do some of these things, but you can, you know, adjust them so that you can, you know, leave your feet on the ground or whatever. And it's really fun too, to do things kind of like a kid. You know, kids will go anywhere and make games spontaneously out of whatever they have. You know, kids will go to the park and they'll play in the jungle gym for hours. And what are they doing? They're hanging from the monkey bars and they're running around and they're balancing on stuff and they're doing all kinds of things. They're pushing each other on the swings. You know, they're not thinking in terms of these basic human movements, but that's what they're doing, you know? And so to be outside and to get some strength training, which a lot of my sessions are 30 minutes. It's so much more fun for me to say, well, I'm gonna go for a hike with my wife every weekend so we can be outside and spend time together, than it is to just endlessly be putting in, you know, I gotta run 10 miles a day or whatever it might be. So it's a lot more fun for me, but also I feel a lot better doing strength training, and my body has completely transformed than, you know, when I was in high school and college, I was running marathons and I had this kind of big soft belly because I ate tons of carbs all the time because I was running all the time. And I had like great legs, but I didn't really look fit. I had a really scrawny kind of upper body. And like I said, this kind of muffin top belly, and my legs were really strong, but I had, you know, spider veins all over because I'm running all the time. Whereas now I haven't run in probably 20 years and I'm not a big guy, but I feel so much better and I move so much better and I don't have pain all the time from, like, you know, slamming myself into the ground all the time. So I would really encourage people, regardless of whether you're, you know, you can do yoga and be super flexible and mobile, but doing some strength training might be beneficial. You're actually going to have tons of conditioning because a lot of yoga classes are long, an hour, you know, or more. So there's a lot of conditioning there. It's just not like running cardio conditioning. And the same thing, if you're a endurance athlete, having some strength training to offset, you know, all that leg work or what have you might be really helpful too. So pretty much for everyone, but also for a longevity, you know, a bunch of people here are coaches and dealing with longevity and like extending life and quality of life. Those are things that are important to people. So one of the things that's helpful with strength work is it helps preserve bone density, which is really important, especially with the elderly, but also strength training is made up of these 6 basic human movements. So by having people do squats, they're going to be able to stand up and sit down out of a chair without assistance. They're going to be able to pick themselves up off the floor if they fall down. They're going to be able to push and pull things. Again, opening drawers, closing doors, doing things like that may seem simple now, but when we're in our 80s, doing those things on our own, unassisted, are going to be really difficult unless we have maintained both the bone density and the strength to be able to maintain those basic human movements, even though we're elderly and we hopefully will not be frail. I'm sure some of you have older relatives and they get really tiny and kind of brittle. The more strength and kind of conditioning work you can do now, the longer you'll enable yourself to kind of, you know, future-proof yourself against some of that risk of frailty and getting brittle.